So Ella's going to also help me answer questions in the Q&A and jump in whenever she has something to add. Thanks for joining, Ella.
Thank you. Of course.
Fantastic. So today's session is tips and tricks for digital learning success. So we're going to go over a couple of things that will help you support yourself and your users as pertains to digital learning. We're going to go ahead and jump right into number one on our list for tips and tricks. We got three things here on our top three, which is how users get activated, how do I know what Learning Paths courses to tell my users to take, and how do I review progress of the users? So user activation is really straightforward. However, at times, some people tend to, I don't want to say overthink, but a little bit overthink when it comes up to the activation process. So with this platform, each user does create their own login. We'll go over that here briefly in a moment, and they have to follow the process in the activation email. So each one of our customers, whether you're a hotel, educational institution, a partner organization, is provided with a digital learning activation email. This activation email is provided to the property contact, and then it's up to that property contact to distribute to all the users that need access within their organization for digital learning. It's important to share the entire activation email. That way, the users can go ahead and follow each step as outlined in order to make sure that they successfully activate to digital learning. So always step number one is to save that activation email. Next is to distribute, and then the users activate, review the videos, and direct your users to what content is relevant for your property or organization. If you don't have a digital learning activation email or you lost it, you can always email our team at operaenablement_ww@oracle.com. I'll have that up on the screen later just in case you want to take a note. And Ella will also go ahead and drop that in the chat for me when she has a moment. And you can go ahead, email us. We'll be able to help you get your activation email. And if you're an Oracle project manager or a partner manager with one of our partner organizations and needs help getting a partner their activation details, just go ahead and send us an email and we'll tell you exactly what we need to help with that. So the activation email has multiple steps. Step one is the user creating their SSO. So an Oracle account SSO is required to activate to digital learning. This is not the same login users use to access Opera Cloud itself. So these are two separate systems. There's currently no connection between the two. So the SSO or the login that's created for Opera Cloud or Opera application is not going to be the same login for digital learning. The users have to have an email address. This has to be a unique email address this has to be a unique email address that will allow us to have the user be able to log in and access digital learning. So you want to avoid shared email addresses as well as shared email addresses, as well as email addresses that might be used by someone else in the future. The great thing about the Oracle account screen is that you can go in and change your email address at any time. So if you change a company or organization, you can update your profile and then the digital learning access will be there. We encourage users not to create multiple SSO accounts. That means your user progress will be tracked separately and we cannot combine those details together. So just make sure that you create your single SSO or have your users create their single SSO. And then if they need help, we have the details on the screen. We also include this in our Getting Started guide on the platform. So profile help _ww at oracle.com. That's the Oracle account team. The digital learning team does not have access to user accounts, so we're not able to make those types of updates, but it is there for you just in case you need to get help with your SSO. Again, user activation comes in that multiple parts. First part is going ahead and creating the SSO. The second part is not here in this email. It's going to be that property specific activation link. You have to make sure your users go back to the activation email as outlined in the steps. And then once they're activated, they can then have access to digital learning. So again, keys to success for user creation. They want to go ahead, create that SSO, return to the activation email, select a property specific link, and then they'll be able to get digital learning access. So I'm going to pause here to see if there's any questions in the Q&A about activation or user creation. And again, just a reminder, users have to create their own SSO. There's no batch creation of user logins at this time. So Ella, are there any questions in the Q&A as of right now?
No questions so far, Deanne. It looks like everything is clear.
All right, fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and jump to number 2. How do I know what learning paths and courses to tell users to take? So the digital learning team itself does not set the expectation of what courses to take necessarily. We want all of our users to take all of our content. I know that's a little bit selfish of us, but we want to make sure that you have a full experience of what we offer. We do offer a variety of Opera 5, Opera Cloud, Nor1, distribution. All the content is available on our platform. However, I know it's a little bit complicated, a little bit overwhelming, and I'm going to go over some tips here to know what content for your users to take. So if you are on the digital learning website, you'll see that there's a variety of filters on the site. These filters are going to be your keys to success as it pertains to navigating the digital learning and getting your users access. We have our product filters here along the left-hand side of the filter search. So we have our Opera filter, reporting analytics, Nor1, and OHIP, which is our Oracle Hospitality Integration Platform. And then we also next have our solutions. Whoops, sorry about that. Went a slide ahead. We also have our solutions. Our solutions are going to be our property management, our OSM, Opera 5, Opera Cloud, RNA, OHIP, so on and so forth. The best way to navigate or have your users take content is first for you to go in and take a look at the content we offer. This is very important because that way you know what materials are out there and how to navigate your users to the correct content. So in the case of Opera Cloud, I always recommend going ahead and selecting our Opera Cloud property management solution. And then we have the roles for the different user types here. So if you have a user that is front office reservations, you select that role, and then all of the learning paths and then the courses are just listed below. The best way for users to take content is via a learning path. Because we create the learning paths in an organized manner, the content is in the order that is recommended to be consumed, and you're not having to go and pick and choose content. We also have on the platform this little heart icon, which will allow users to mark courses or learning paths as favorites, and then they'll be able to go to the favorites option here to quickly get to that information. So have the users navigate, select the solution that pertains to the material that they're needing, select the role, and then mark the learning paths and courses that are relevant. In this case, for Opera Cloud customers, we recommend Get It Started with Opera Cloud profiles and reservations, front office and cashiering, and reporting. You'll notice that there's extra learning paths here as well. We have Opera Cloud Skill Up with additional videos, what we do recommend users going ahead and taking a peek at. If your property has a comp accounting installed, you would take the comp accounting learning path. We have mobile guest experience, digital assistant, and Opera Cloud loyalty. So these are all additional products that we offer with Opera Cloud. But if your property does not have those products installed, you want to stick to those core 4 learning paths: getting started, profiles and reservations, cashiering, and reporting. A lot of the time, I do see customers going here to the courses option instead of using the filters on the main screen. It's ideal to go ahead and use those main filters because the courses screen here is just going to list every single course that we have on the platform, and they're in alphabetical order. It doesn't provide the organization that our learning paths do. So definitely want to make sure you take advantage of those learning paths. And then going back to our main screen, I do want to point out something new that we've added in the past couple weeks, which is called Opera Cloud Fundamentals. Opera Cloud Fundamentals is a learning journey we put together of the base content that any property would need to know to get started on Opera Cloud. So I'm just waiting for the screen to load here. Apologies for the delay. So here on the screen, we have each course or each learning path that's included in fundamentals. We have the recommended audience for those courses and learning paths and the timing. We also put together a little matrix down here so you can know that if a front office user, they're required to take front office reservations, night audit, and then optional for sales and events, recommended housekeeping, and then finance.
Again,
Yes, Ella.
can you try again to upload that screen because it's not showing?
Okay, let me go ahead and reshare. I was just probably talking and the screen wasn't sharing. Apologies.
Just
How
the
about
last.
now?
Yes, now we can show.
Thank you. Thank you. So let me go back one screen and just show everyone Opera Cloud Fundamentals, where that tile is. It's right here on the main screen under the journey section. When you go into Opera Cloud Fundamentals, again, Jeopardy music here. You have all of the learning paths listed with their timings, the recommended audiences, and each of the paths or courses. And as I was saying, there is a matrix here for the courses that are required and recommended. And at the bottom here, each of the paths and courses are easily and readily available. So if you're a little bit overwhelmed, there's a lot of content that we do offer on the platform, and you just want to get your users up and going on digital learning, go ahead and have them go to the Opera Cloud Fundamentals learning journey, and then take the content as is listed here that's relevant to them. If a user needs to go and then expand, or you have additional functionality turned on in Opera Cloud that's not included in fundamentals, then refer back to the other courses and learning journeys on the main screen, and you can go and consume that content. So we hope that the fundamentals learning path is a nice, easy way for you to find the materials that you need to get your users started on Opera Cloud. So once again, I'm going to pause to see if there's any questions about finding content, learning paths, learning journeys. Ella, anything in the Q&A?
So far, nothing.
So far, nothing. Wow. Well, hopefully we'll get some questions here in just a couple moments.
Make it really clear.
Yes.
Apparently.
All right. So we've gone over how to know which learning paths and which courses to take. Again, I think it's very important for managers and instructors to go through the content, look at the material. But again, we also have offered now the Opera Cloud Fundamentals learning journey to help assist you with that task. And number 3, which is a big one, how do I review the progress of the users? So within digital learning, we don't have the user progress per se. We do have progress reports for the individual users, but what we do use is another site, which is called the Training Administrator Portal, also known as TAP. So TAP access is provided upon request to property managers. TAP allows managers and instructors to see which users have activated to digital learning, how many seats you're using and how to manage those seats, as well as see which courses have been consumed. We recommend that once you receive the activation email initially as a manager, that you request TAP within 24 to 48 hours. This way we can go ahead and provide you access. It does take about that long also for TAP to refresh once you are provided access, since the system is not updated in real time. So we really want you to make sure that you're utilizing TAP. You must have an SSO created before getting onto TAP or getting TAP access. So if you haven't gotten the digital learning activation email and you're requesting TAP access, you want to pause. You want to get that activation email, activate the digital learning first, creating your SSO, and then activating to TAP. And then the digital learning order number is required when requesting access to TAP. The digital learning order number can be found on the activation email. I'm just going to go ahead and go back a couple slides here. And you can see that on the activation email, the order number is listed here at the top, as well as the customer name. So this is the information that you want to include in your TAP request. So whenever we're saying, hey, we need information, we need a digital learning order number, that's the information we're looking for. And this is how we can make sure that you are attached to the right property and we can provide you TAP access as quickly as possible. A couple things about TAP. Currently, you can only pull reporting by individual user. Unfortunately, at this time, we don't offer reporting as a whole. However, the Oracle University team is working on a newer version of the Training Administrator Portal. So we hope to roll that out here in the next couple months to give you more reporting options. Additionally, if you manage multiple properties in TAP, we don't have the ability to show the property name in the system next to that order number. If you do manage multiple orders and you need a list of those property names, just reach out to us and we'll be happy to help. But the goal here is to make sure that you're going in, you're managing your users, you're also managing the number of seats that are allocated to your property. And we also can increase those seats at any time, as long as if you need additional seats or additional access for digital learning. There's no additional cost or fees for adding seats. Digital learning is included for all users. I mean, all of our customers in Oracle Hospitality. So that includes increasing seats. So TAP is your key for user reporting. Make sure if you don't have access to TAP, you request it and just reach out to us. So that covers our digital learning top 3. How do users get activated? How do I know what learning paths? And then how do I review progress of users? So contacting the digital learning team is very easy. You're going to email us at operaenablement_ww@oracle.com. This is our email address. We are more than happy to answer emails as soon as they come through. For successful communication, please include your property name and your digital learning order number. That way we can quickly find your property and look into the details there. If you are having issues with activation, you want to make sure that the user includes their name and their SSO email addresses. We do not need passwords. And if there's an error occurring, you want to make sure that you include screenshots of the issues. That way we can look and troubleshoot. Our team, unfortunately, does not have the ability to call on demand or connect to customer sites on demand. So everything that usually happens troubleshooting wise, we're able to answer and respond to via email. As long as we have this information, we can go look, find the issue, and provide you with the resolution, whether that is additional guidance through the process or we have to manually activate a user. So I'm going to go ahead and see if there's any questions in the Q&A.
Yes, Deanne, there is a question.
Fantastic.
Amir, maybe I missed it. In which moment does the customer receive his digital learning enrollment email? After the provisioning?
That's a great question. So we provide the digital learning activation email to customers as soon as the order is booked. I shouldn't say as soon. I should say within 1 to 5 business days of within the order is booked. So when the booked order comes through for an opera part, we'll go ahead and we will provide them with digital learning access in 1 to 3 business days. That is provided to the person that's listed as the end user contact on the order. Usually in some cases, that's not the person necessarily that needs the activation email. But once we provide access, you can reach out and we will be happy to resend an activation email at any time. For our Oracle employees and internal attendees on this call, that's all on our digital learning Confluence page, which you can reach out to us if you don't have the link to, or you can refer to the email announcement that went out on Monday from Hospitality Central. All right. Any other questions, Ella?
Yes, from Dawn. When a course has been completed, I have noted that it becomes uncompleted if there is changes or additions added to that specific topic. Is there any notification to let the user know that they need to retake a specific course that has been changed or updated?
Unfortunately, that's not something that Oracle University offers to us at this time. We do our best to not disrupt the user experience. So when we add content, it's usually an additional piece of material that is supporting the existing content. Very rarely we have to go through and change out a course, but when we do, yes, that will reset the consumption of the video because it's a brand new video, it's a brand new offering in the platform. We do try to have a cadence where we replace all the material at the same time each year. So right now we're planning on doing updates to Opera Cloud, but that won't be until the spring. And of course, as that's getting ready to come, we'll put on the platform on the announcements at the top and provide a video and communication, of course, internally as well when changes are happening. But as of right now, we're only adding new content. We're not planning on changing or removing any existing content.
Thank you. Next one. Hi, Deanne. This SSO accounts creation works later for accelerator process?
The accelerator and digital learning are not connected. So no, they will not be related together at any given point at this time. So those are 2 separate systems, 2 separate actions. The user has to create their SSO. However, if the accelerator is using the oracle.com process to create an SSO, then yes, that SSO can be used for digital learning access. The user just has to activate to digital learning using the activation email. This is the same if a user has an SSO for the support portal. So that SSO is the same that they would use for digital learning. They would just need to activate the digital learning, but the accelerator itself and digital learning are not connected.
Thanks, Deanne. There are no additional questions. Maybe we can wait for one more minute.
We'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just show a couple other things while we're waiting to see if any other questions pop up. Just for informational purposes, we are going through a process of adding multi-language audio to our existing content. This will not change the video recordings. The video recordings will still remain in English, but we currently have French available on the screen for multi-language audio. So if not on the screen, but audio available. So if the user goes into the digital learning platform, they'll see the little headphones icon and they'll be able to listen and follow along with French audio. This French audio goes along with the French captions that are also on the screen. We are working on the additional languages listed for multi-language audio, with our ultimate goal is to have audio that corresponds with all of our subtitle languages. So just in case you are looking for that, we have that available on the screen for the audio. And as we are getting new products, our team is currently working on content for Opera Cloud 23.5. So we are going through and creating our Spotlight series videos for that, as well as getting ready to create content for our newest product, Opera Cloud Central, that is released and coming out into the universe of Oracle. And if you are ever on the digital learning website, we have recordings here. So if you missed our customization webinar, you can come here to the digital learning website and review that video. The recording of this session as well will be available on our Video Hub channel. So you can go back and watch the playback. We will be continuing hosting various live sessions throughout the upcoming year with different topics, different contributors throughout our Oracle Hospitality team. And we hope that we can just keep on bringing you knowledge and support as it pertains to digital learning and our Oracle Hospitality suite of products. So I'm just going to ask Ella, are there any more questions in our Q&A?
No more questions, Deanne.
All right. Well, there you have it. I mean, I would thank everybody for taking time and joining us for this session. I know everyone has a very busy schedule, so we appreciate you just taking a little bit time out to spend with us. If you have any questions, again, you can reach out to us at operaenablement_ww@oracle.com. On the website here, on the screen here is our email address. And we look forward to providing you with more digital learning content now and until there's no more content to be created, which should be never, because we should always be learning. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Bye now.
Thank you.